both the men and women of Chelsea will be this weekend. Good from Loftus-Cheek. Gallagher held up by Billing, kept hold of the ball crucially.
But at this point in time, we actually need to get a little bit more domination in the midfield. And it's up to Ruben and it's up to Ross. You know, they're players that have got a lot of games behind them in Premier League football. Huge expectations. International players for England. You know, you need to grab a hold of this game.
Given away, Billing, but it's offside, thankfully. Solanke is anyway, or given as such, should I say. But you're right, Conor Gallagher needs some help in there.
Yeah.
And they can't both go. I'm sure they both want to go, Barkley and Loftus-Cheek, but I think it's got to be 2+1 rather than 1+2. It was Loftus-Cheek on the gallop then. That's a great pull back from Ross Barkley.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way they lined up at the start of the second half, that was the system. It's a 3. Yeah, it's a, you know, one in front of those 3. Then it's 2 wing backs and then 2 inside forwards behind them. But you almost say, you know, we're actually now not winning this. We're not winning this midfield. We need to come a little bit closer in. And I think as you say that, it's changed a little bit now, hasn't it?
It's an awkward ball into the channel and very well read. Ball dropping over his shoulder like that. Chalobah with Solanke in attendance. He's done well to meet that cleanly and clear. Bournemouth have another corner. I think the goal scorer will probably go and take it.
I'm actually watching Ruben at the moment and wondering if he's fully fit. You know, just the way he's moving around the field just now.
Well, that has been his problem, hasn't it, for years?
Yeah. I'm not sure if he was... Because the energy that you need in there, you think you're being compared to N'Golo Kante.
That's harsh on anyone, but yes.
It is very harsh.
Unfortunately, that's what he's up against. Different kind of player, but that's the position he'd like. One in there somewhere. 20 to play here. And the match winner in waiting floats a corner in towards Rossi, who did get his head on it, but nothing more than that by way of alarm for Chelsea.
Just need to see that attacking from those wing back areas being used again now. That's a heavy touch.
The sort of heavy touch that usually precedes a challenge that gets you cautioned, yes. But Babarahman managed to get something on it. Well, he was a fabulous deliverer of the ball when at Augsburg, and he's done it brilliantly there for Broja, who's equalised. Babarahman, Armando Broja, 1-1.
So I'm watching the assistant referee there, and everyone else is turning around watching the assistant referee.
It's OK, there's no VAR.
Yeah, the goal will stand, we're not really worrying about that, but, I mean, good commentating, mate. You just said, superb delivery. You didn't get the words fully out of your mouth. And I mean, good willingness as well. I mean, it was a bad touch there, but, you know, go and win it back. Do the right thing. Want the ball back again then, and go and attack it. Put it into the danger area. We shall see it here. No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good ball, and he's absolutely onside.
Really well delivered. Really calmly controlled, in fairness. And what a lovely moment for Armando Broja. 19 years young, composed. Maybe a little nick off the defender on its way through, but that's a fabulous delivery from Babarahman.
Debuting replacement number 38, Christian Sadie.
I'll accept that every day of the week. Remember the question we were asking about 2 minutes ago? Who's going to stand up? Who's going to say to the gaffer, hey, by the way, I can make a difference? Well, there's a couple of people that come on and made a little bit of difference. Well done, Baba. Put it in there. And, of course, that's a good finish.
At the start of last season, Marcos Alonso was the third choice left back for Chelsea. For quite a while, when Thomas Tuchel took over, he was the first choice. Emerson ended up being the one that missed out. Obviously, Ben Chilwell, the main one. But who knows? Most seasons, there's a left field thing that happens at pretty much any club. Now, Jack Stacey's got a problem here. They have just brought on Christian Sadie at Bournemouth, but I think they've got a problem with their regular at the back there, Jack Stacey. So they might be about to make another change.
Do you know what, those Chelsea fans are trying to be singing a song. Singing a song. OK, we'll have a go then, will we? Champions of Europe.
Cheerleader Nevin has got them going again. Water break as we have another look at the goal and a lovely moment for the youngster Armando Broja.
Really
Albanian roots, but far more local. Slough.
It's a lot better of a difference.
And a fine part of the world where Chelsea greats such as Langley, Hutchinson, Osgood and Andrews have hailed from.
I think some of the players out there want a little bit of a rest just now, won't they? You know, the start of the season, you put the effort in, you put the work in, but there comes a point, you know, 74, 75 minutes in, particularly I would say for one or two of the Bournemouth players. You know, they put a little bit of a shift in there, and they'll be feeling it a little bit at the moment. Just hope that's not an injury. I don't like to see any players getting injured during. You know, it is an injury, but not a serious one. You know, it'll keep them out for the start of the season.
Jack Stacey is off, and Brennan Camp, his replacement. There he is. All charged down. Nearly had another. Mark Travers is left very relieved. Did that go to play? Apparently not. Oh, yes, it did. Assistant on this near side says yes. 15 minutes for someone to win it.
That was a great chase down, wasn't it? That was absolutely magnificent, that. Didn't lose if he had any chance at all. Look at the angle. It goes on into an angle. So the keeper thinks he's got a little bit more time, but it goes on at that angle for a reason, to shove the goalkeeper the right way. So very unlucky not getting the goal to put us ahead.
Smart play, and he's won a corner here too. What an excellent little cameo this has been. And he was close here. He turned on the afterburners there. That could easily be 2-1 right there. Not many strikers on Chelsea's books at the moment. That's in for 2-1. Ross Barkley curls in a beauty, and it's nodded in by Ike Ugbo from what, a foot out?
Yeah, just as you say there. Not that many strikers around. Why not?
There's another one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little ball in there, you know, near post, but I mean, defenders have got to do that, really. You've got to defend that a little bit better if you're a defender, but if you're a striker, you've got to look where the weaknesses are. You know, lost a goal there, but the reaction has been, let's see, a bit magnificent.
Bravo to the two young forwards. Rogers come on, scored a goal, won that corner. And his partner up there, Ike Ugbo, has turned it round in double quick time. 2 goals in, what, 5 minutes for the Blues?
As you say, players will get a wee bit tired there, but also, you know, the game deserved it. It's certainly been harsh on Chelsea, hadn't they? Grown up this game and not scored a goal with the chances they've created, but yeah, let's see if we... And I don't think we'll be trying to hold on now. I think we're going to try and go for a third one now. That should be the attitude pre-season.
Bournemouth ball. Just looking down there, Pat, Conor Gallagher would be the only starter who is still on the field, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get a team working well together. So you know, when you're making that amount of changes, and but it hasn't been a staccato performance really. I mean, really, it's kept at a decently high tempo. And underline again, Bournemouth have not been bad at all.
I'd say for a game on July the 27th or whatever this is, that this has actually been of a higher pace than pretty much any early pre-season game I can remember. They are normally, understandably, just a little more pedestrian than this. This is a little bit more bite to it and moved at a greater pace. That ball was absolutely smashed into that press area. Neil Barnett and none of our friends up there were injured by it. That's overrun by the recently arrived Brennan Camp. I'm
delighted for the Chelsea fans though that have managed to get down here. I mean, they're the lucky ones, really. You know, getting here, they've sang all the way through it. They didn't stop when we lost the goal. It's been a lovely celebration, hasn't it, for them all? An absolutely brilliant celebration for them all.
Well, they've got a lot banked up, haven't they? Think of the frustrations. It's a long time ago, that exhibition win over Carlo Ancelotti's Everton in the middle of March 2020. The last time Stamford Bridge was full of Chelsea fans, properly full. Chalobah.
If there's a George Taylor in the Steve, just know that's George Taylor. Please could you contact us during the media game? Thank you.
That's really good hold-up play. You know, anytime you see a centre forward, it's one of the first things you want to see about them. You're going to be able to do it for us. You know, hold up, get a foul, make sure you're getting midfielders in touch with you. A really powerful hold-up play.
Well, you can do no more when you come off the bench. Is Armando Broja going to be playing week in, week out for Chelsea next season? No, he's not, but his manager will have liked what he's seen. It might give him a bit more. It will remind him in the medium to longer term what he's got. And I'm sure going to be a few scouts in here, because clearly plenty of those we've seen in Chelsea Blue tonight will not be playing for Chelsea next term.
Honestly, you cannot believe all over the world how many people look at Chelsea and say, can we please have one of them? I mean, just about every country in Europe have got teams that are saying, can we have one of your youngsters? Can we have one of the players that's not getting a game yet? And of course we see them everywhere, but they are because they're playing and they're trained well, and you know they've learned the game well. They're so sought after.
They are. They know they've been well coached. There's a long ball forward, and Ugbo's on the chase again here, trying to give Brennan Camp a problem, but that'll be a foul.
Yeah, that's a sore one. He's left completely flat and he's back there. Sort of things you used to see in wrestling matches. Coccyx, I think the usual phrase is when he hits it. Ouch.
Heavy landing for the sub. Well, you want fitness and you don't want injuries in pre-season. Bournemouth might have had a couple here tonight. Just apologies if you picked up some fruity language a moment or so ago. Some excited fans who haven't seen football for a long time. They're so excited they're singing about Pat Nevin again as Travers goes long. Have more chance than Tuchel and Lampard and everyone else put together tonight. Not many get Player of the Year twice, in fairness.
It's funny just how much more confident it looks. Chelsea have changed it, you know, and it's made a difference because Rubens went a wee bit deeper. And he's been the sitting midfielder, and it's allowed us, you know, to go. Ross obviously stays a little bit further forward, but Connor's been able to play in a position he looks more comfortable in now.
Edwards just trying to pull his way through Chalobah as Jake Clark-Salter clears.
Oh, great power.
Excellent again, the hold-up play. Is this a young Giroud we're watching here? Well, he's just given it away, so perhaps not. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, that's serious power. And there was a run there, a burst on the right-hand side by Zappacosta, and he saw him, and he just didn't believe in himself to play the ball. And it was worth playing because he'd held it up, he turned the defender, and he could have played it in the corner, and he's had a really good few minutes, hasn't he?
Loftus-Cheek, who often stands out for many a reason on a football field, but more often than not, I always find it's because he's the only bloke who ever wears black boots. Lovely. For the traditionalists amongst us.
they actually look unusual now.
No, that's exactly the point. As you see them, you think he looks weird. Not the blokes in bright green and pink stripes, but the guy in black boots is the one that looks weird. Edwards. Great chance he had earlier. Good save from Mendy. Travers clears. Clark-Salter wins that header well, and he finds Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Baba. A well-weighted pass for Brodja.
He's had a really good game, hasn't he? All his movement, Brodja's movement's been magnificent. Super movement there, running at his bases, holding it all, not giving it away, doing all the right things, and obviously getting the goal. And kind of assist for the other one as well.
His first loan spell was with a well-worn track between Chelsea and Vitesse, but 10 goals in his 30 games there for your first loan. You've played a lot, you've scored a few.
Yeah.
You're probably then thinking, let's see if a decent championship side come in for him.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, they always come out with chatting to someone earlier on about it and saying, in fact, a guy who was in a taxi, it turns out he was a Chelsea fan down here in Bournemouth, and he was saying, done by Didier Drogba. Of course, Didier didn't turn up at 19, the finished article.
Not remotely.
Nowhere near it. So it takes a while. Certain positions, centre forward and particularly centre half, they are positions that takes a long time to get them absolutely right at the top level.
That's a nice timing of pass and run, Barkley. Just biding his time. Here's Loftus-Cheek. Clark-Salter, another crossing chance for Babarahman. Just decided against it that time. Conor Gallagher trying to bend something cultured in there, just overhit. I think he expected runs that didn't quite happen. Now, you're quite right. I mean, Didier Drogba, for instance, at the age of Tammy Abraham, hadn't achieved anything like what Tammy Abraham has. Not suggesting for a second that Tammy Abraham is necessarily going to eclipse the great man, but it is a point well made. He was still at Guingamp before he'd even gone to Marseille, where he had the great season that got him the move to Chelsea. So
yeah, different players come at different times and develop at different times.
Suddenly, Zappacosta here, pulling it back, not quite for Brodja. It's actually pretty well met by Gavin Kilkenny, who's filling in and doing his midfield job perfectly there.
It just looks really a bit more balanced now, and certainly since scoring the goals. And it just shows you, however far you go along the runs or down the runs with Chelsea, there's quality there, isn't there? There's quality you can turn to. I'll tell you what, Baba's not done bad either. Great little interception there. Unlucky not to get the 1-2.
He's had injury hell, Babarahman. He was signed at a time that was Chelsea's most awkward in all of the Roman Empire years, that in and around that troublesome season of 15-16 that began with Mourinho and ended with Hiddink. That's when Jake Clark-Salter got his game. Ruben Loftus-Cheek got a little bit of action then too. And, loan spells and a huge amount of time out, injured Babarahman. He came from Augsburg though. It was... Just watch this header looping over the top, thankfully, from Sam Surridge, the forward who's come on, former Southampton kid who's got the armband on now. But Babarahman came with the reputation of being a really dangerous deliverer, and in fact had the second most crosses of anyone in the Bundesliga, I seem to remember, with Augsburg, before he then... Successful crosses, that is, incidentally, when he arrived.
I might have to leave you in a minute, Ben. We're going to do the post-match show. So it's been an absolute pleasure working with you tonight, because it's been a dull game, but do you know what? It's been an absolute cracker.
just wait for the Chelsea fans to chant as Pat Nevin makes his way around to the other side of the Vitality Stadium. Well, every bit as entertaining, if not quite with the scary jeopardy of the last time we were together in the drag-out in Porto. But a one-goal Chelsea victory would be common ground. Bournemouth trying to pinch a draw, but they've given possession back. Loftus-Cheek just helping to calm things down now, and it's definitely been noticeable that he's dropped in there to help Conor Gallagher and curb those natural instincts at bombing forward, which Ian Ross-Barkley so want to do. And now he's on the charge, and not for the first or the last time, draws the foul. Such a physical presence. It's one of the bigger questions, isn't it? I think, what does Thomas do with Ruben? A player of such potential and loved so much by those Blues fans, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. 3 summers ago, he was picked in the England World Cup squad. Can he get fit? Can he stay fit? And where will he be playing his football? Edwards for Bournemouth, looking for the latest of late equalisers. Stoppage time. How much will there be? Edwards again with a chance to cross. It is Chelsea's victory. Pre-season begins with a win, and a win from behind, and plenty of entertainment. There is the match winner, Ike Ugbo, one of 2 young forwards on the score sheet, as Chelsea went from 1 down to 2-1 up. Armando Broja helped make that Ugbo goal, having scored the equaliser himself. One of many good cameos from youngsters in blue tonight, and a few older boys who we've perhaps forgotten about. Some memories jogged for some of us, and indeed perhaps some reputations beginning in the eyes of Thomas Tuchel too. It's a match that could have had plenty of goals before those goals did start. Marcondes with the open-up for Bournemouth, but Chelsea have done the job here. A more entertaining game than many a pre-season outing is. Lots to enjoy about it, and a winning scoreline too. The Blues have beaten Bournemouth by 2-1 on their return to action. Let's get straight into some post-match reaction now. Lee Parker is with Hakim Ziyech.
Hakim, first of all, big game, big...
Game 3 for Bournemouth. Abraham, Barkley, Loftus-Cheek, Zappa Costa.
In the back of the 3 in the middle, wasn't he?
Indeed, he was the most regular starter for a little while, right at the beginning round holes. Bournemouth coming forward here. Adam Smith, unusually for him on the left, but Scott Parker's got some square pegs.
But particularly you've been doing this. You see,
not getting the golden boot for scoring 41. Here's a crossing chance. It's low from Pulisic. It's cut out and hacked out.
And that, you'd have looked in the sea.
Bournemouth getting back. Here's Ziyech. Chance to hit it. He knew he was going to.
Do you know what's interesting about that? That's the second time Tammy's had a chance to let fly.
Played it. Ziyech was always going to cut back. And he has fouled Adam Smith.
Yeah, as you say.
It most certainly was. Do it quickly, or you might not do it at all. Here's Alonso with a little dink from Hudson-Odoi. One-on-one, he's got Adam Smith. Could go either way. It's Thomas Tuchel urging calm.
You know, and I'm not surprised he got this one. I'm not surprised. No, if he's done it before, he feels if he can do it again.
Drink, as it always is. And towards it's a lovely ball from Brooks to Dom Solanke. Really well tracked all the way by Lewis Baker.
And that's how you have to be clever on it.
Given away as Drinkwater finds Pulisic, and well, he was looking for it and he's got it. One of those where Alonso couldn't. Very promising youngsters there from a few years ago who've been doing all sorts in various. Today's captain scored twice in a ridiculous 2 to getting. It was Kyle Taylor. Here is Alonso. And the ref's a bit of a bouncer. Shooting chance though, and I'm glad he took that on. That's what you want to see him doing.
Absolutely with you, 100%. Make that much of a difference.
Looks like too much. Deep corner, Billing, the obvious. Hudson-Odoi taking on Adam Smith. That's what you want to see, and Travers has had something to do now. He's pulled off a fabulous save to deny Tammy Abraham the opening goal. And there is Callum Hudson-Odoi doing what we want to see him doing.
There is a little bit, he's filled it a bit more, you know, and it just be...
And they'll get to this too. It's another decent cut back into a dangerous area. Sadly for Chelsea, the only player there.
And the understanding of what VAR is for, major decisions that don't...
That's gone straight to Ziyech. Alonso just having to hold his run, but he didn't quite. That ball had to come to him sooner. I think he knew. Relatively early teens with Nice. Marcos Alonso, as usual, finding it. It's dropped here for Ziyech. And it's packed out quickly, unnecessarily, by Gavin Kilkenny. That little burst, that's very Christian Pulisic. This is Jack Stacey. Ziyech starting to see more of the ball. Nice weight there. Abraham again on target. Didn't quite get that wallop behind it that he wanted, but single-minded enough.
Do you know that to go and fly down in those sort of areas, and the gaps are just, I mean, constant.
Extraordinary 5-goal showing from the otherwise doomed bag. Hudson-Odoi finding Ziyech. It's delicate. Would have been a lovely goal. And Tammy Abraham, if anything, needed just a little less on it than he got back.
Do you know what? I'm just delighted Tammy's getting there all the time, isn't he?
It's a good delivery. He's not that well dealt with. Shouldn't have said that. That Bournemouth back three there hasn't actually made a debut in the league, strangely enough, but much less in the league, and played a bit for their B team as well. The break.
Just a few minutes' time.
But that was... Now, modern football being what it is, Pat, there are whole departments.
It's midfielders in the Euros there. I mean, you've got
good loan spell, good experience under the belt. Gallagher's got dispossessed and Brooks is in one-on-one. Best chance of the game, and he's put it wide. What? Roger ahead of him too. It is Hudson-Odoi.
Thing is, get it low, get it across. You are strikers showing real willingness to get there. He did everything wrong except the final touch.
Loftus-Cheek here before deciding whether either of them or both by Brooks. Still, Stacey cutting it back. Great chance. Mendy in the way. And that's twice Bournemouth have gone close, but now Chelsea might. The break is on. It's 3-on-2 if Barkley gets the ball right. Armando Broja. Little overhit.
Back looking for close.
Alonso urged to shoot, and he does. He scored a belter at that end to make it. He's found Chalobah here. There's a free header. Well, it's on target from Matt Miaz. Mendy, and a sitter missed by David Brooks right at the start of this half. It's a lovely idea, that from Barkley. A low percentage ball that was only about 2% off finding its target. And Conor Gallagher got him and not the ball. This is a free kick in a tasty position. You can understand why he wanted to go for it. I don't think it was there to be won, though, Pat. It's the wrong side.
No.
Marcondes with the right. It is. Oh, it's not that far off. Had it been on target, Mendy would be a wing back, I think, rather than a right back. Davide Zappacosta, here he comes. Couldn't find him. Zamora on the charge. Otherwise, an excellent season. Brooks finding Stacey here. Stacey bangs it across. It's in. Could have gone anywhere. Pinball in the Chelsea box. Bournemouth should have taken the lead early in this game. They have taken the lead now. It did stem from a less than ideal clearance from Chelsea's goalkeeper, Pat.
Yeah, It's changed a little bit now, hasn't it?
It's an awkward ball. Well, he was a fabulous deliverer of the ball when at Augsburg, and he's done it brilliantly there for Brodja, who's equalised. Faber Rahman, Armando Brodja, 1-1.
So I'm watching the assistant referee there, and everyone else is turning and watching the assistant referee.
It's okay, there's no VAR.
Yep, and the goal will stand. We're not really worrying about that, but I mean, good commentating, mate.
All charged down. Brodja nearly had another. Not many strikers on Chelsea's books at the moment. That's in for 2-1. Ross Barkley curls in a beauty, and it's nodded in by Ike Ugbo from what, a foot out?
Yeah, just as you say there. Not that many strikers around. Fair enough.
There's another one. Game 3 for Bournemouth. Faber Rahman, Barkley, Loftus-Cheek, Zappa Costa.
In the back of the three in the middle, wasn't he? So
indeed, he was the most regular starter for a little while, right at the beginning round holes. Bournemouth coming forward here. Adam Smith, unusually for him on the left, but Scott Parker's got some square pegs.
But particularly you've been doing this. You see,
not getting the golden boot for scoring 41. Here's a crossing chance. It's low from Pulisic. It's cut out and hacked out.
On that, you're looking in the sea.
Bournemouth getting back. Here's Ziyech. Chance to hit it. He knew he was going to.
You know what's interesting about that? That's the second time Tammy's had a chance to let fly.
Played it. Ziyech was always going to cut back. And he has fouled Adam Smith.
Yeah, as you say.
It most certainly was. Do it quickly, or you might not do it at all. Here's Alonso with a little dink from Hudson-Odoi. One-on-one, he's got Adam Smith. Could go either way. It's Thomas Tuchel urging calm.
You know, and I'm not surprised he got this one. I'm not surprised. No, if he's done it before, the feels if he can do it again.
Drink, as it always is.